everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery, and over at the computer is Dawn.
Hello.
Hello. So a couple things to show you, couple things to talk about, and then we're going to get started on today's stuff. So this is the Welsh Spring Quilt. And this is on a fabric called scuba. How would you describe scuba fabric? It's kind of stretchy, but not knit. A little bit thicker than knit.
Thicker. Yeah, thicker and stretchy.
Yeah, and it's lovely, and I can't find any anywhere.
And just have a very nice feel to the touch.
Yeah, it's kind of silky feeling. Yeah. It's really cool, and it's perfect for doing this kind of work because you get nice puffiness, and this looks fantastic. It's just really easy to use. So this is this week's quilt, and you can make table runners. You can make a larger quilt. The table runners are made up of corner piece and then or corner pieces, and then the big tulips. I love these tulips. They are big and pretty. So this is my wall hanging, and I'm not actually putting it up on the wall. It's been on our coffee table, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, did you put batting inside? Yes, I did, Rhonda. That's what gives you the nice puff about it. Some of it, I experimented a little bit, and I used 2 layers of the warm and natural, but it was too annoying. It was too annoying. So just one piece of batting in here, but it's beautiful. And I decided on subduing it. So I used kind of like a little bit darker thread for the design, and I love how it turned out. So awesome. Head on over to omlembroidery.com and you can pick this up. It is introductory pricing for a while. It'll change, but yeah, it's awesome. And it looks complicated, but it isn't. You guys will love it. So that's one. And let's see, that goes back up on the coffee table. And Dawn did a Mylar, and it's really cute. I really like it.
It's very sparkly.
Yeah, it's very sparkly. I love it. I think that's awesome.
Good for spring or Easter or
anything. Cindy King is going to make a nice shirt out of this one. She rocks. You rock, Cindy King, if you're listening or later. Candace purchased yesterday. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. We need it. And Dillback, did you stitch in the ditch? Yes, I did. It makes it look really nice. So I did, just between the blocks. So easy. And would you guys like to see the newest quilt? Because it's completely different. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
I think you guys are going to love this. Look at that. That is what I was working on. Did we do a nail check? No, we will in a minute. I just wanted to bring this out. Okay, so it's the same setup, each block, but we're going to do some folded fabric in the blocks. And I used Kingstar metallic thread for the designs. It doesn't show up so much on the camera, but it's like a darker kind of gold color, and I did it all the same. And it is just as easy to do as the other ones. So Dawn, can you put up that full picture? Dawn's just gonna put up a picture of like the whole thing so you guys can see it. Our camera isn't up high enough. So that's the whole thing. And I decided to use kind of like earthy colors. I was hesitant about the black, but because I did the black piping, which is actually satin stitches, I think it looks fantastic. So that'll be coming up next week. You guys are going to love stitching it out. It's fantastic. Can you imagine it with different colors? I love it. And metallic thread. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, pick your favorite colors and go.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Awesome.
And it's easy. And again, you can do different things with it. But I am so happy with this. For sure. So we're going to put this aside. You guys will see more about that. And before we get started, I wanted to show you guys a little tip. We have a problem in this house we have a Roomba down here, and the Roomba likes to eat the thread. Now, it's not one of the really expensive smart ones like we have upstairs. It's a bit of a brute, so we call it Biff. And I have this in the bottom drawer, and it tends to magically come out. Now, I know you can tie a knot in it, but I hate picking out the knots. So this is what I'm doing. This is just saran wrap, and I happen to have a Missouri Star dispenser, which is the same as the awesome one from Dime. It's just smaller. I'm not going to be able to fit anything like embroidery wise in there. And this is for any thread that doesn't have a clip or anything to hold it. So I just nicely cut off a piece and wrap it around, and it's easy to unwrap, and it doesn't have to be neat or tidy. And look at that.
Is it Biff proof?
It's Biff proof. If
Right.
Biff gets that thread tangled around him, I quit. I quit.
It was a mess
So,
I had to clean out.
I
didn't mean
know.
that.
I know. So that's my idea, and it's just regular saran wrap. You don't have to have a dispenser about that. Just, anything.
That's a good little tip.
Yeah, I kind of like it because I get kind of, I got to take care of my thread, and I think this is really good. This is the color that Biff ate, too. So, yeah.
Bad Biff.
You should have a section on your site for tips. Yeah, I usually do it in a blog, but I haven't been blogging lately. Okay, so now we are coming to today's work, and I want you guys, nail check, nail check, just some greens, some pretty greens, just thought it would be fun. Awesome, just green. Just kind of pretty.
I like them.
Yeah, Don really likes them. I'm not sure, but So, map your quilt blocks. What the heck is that about? Okay, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and it's something I've been trying to get accuquilt to go for, and they wouldn't, but now they are, and I'm so excited. So there's going to be lots of classes from Dime and different things to go through it with you, but I was so excited I had to do it. So my block piecer, which is a brilliant add-on to either Toolshed or Perfect Embroidery Pro, and it's going to create these quilt blocks for you. And this is the quilt block. Okay, sorry about the lines. Our printer is kind of dying. This is the map that you get. And believe it or not, you also get instructions, numbered instructions of everything that you need to do. And honestly, once you pick your quilt block, you size it, and then you click a button to auto build it, and then you rearrange the numbers and save it, and you're done. It's literally that easy, and there's hundreds of designs that you can do. So this is the one that I chose, and here is what it looks like. Isn't that cool? That's exactly it. It's all folded fabric, and it's all mapped out. So, it's so easy. So, anyways, I want an 8-inch block finished. So 8" is what we're going for, and I'll talk a bit more about the squares in a minute. So I went to, it's a bit heavy. Now if you don't have accuquilt, don't worry about it. You can send it to your cutter. You can do different things. So this is called a block. This is accuquilt, and these are small ones. So let me pull it out and show you. And if I had a lot of money, I would have one of each. One of each. So let's see if I have one that's open. Yes, this one's open. So this is what the quilt dies look like. So this is, I don't want to touch it because it's sharp. So this is a quarter square triangle. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I can see the lines on it when you do that.
Oh, quarter square triangle. It's right here. And they're numbered too, by the way. All you have to do is put your fabric on. You don't have to have the big quilt thing. You can, send it through. I think it's called a baby. AccuQuilt Baby. Anyways, most of the time you can get it for free if you buy stuff, whatever. These cubes are awesome. It goes from 4" all the way up to 12. I have 8 and 9, and I have extra ones too. So if you can match your AccuQuilts to your quilt block, which, a lot of them will. So for an 8" block, look at all the different shapes you get too, by the way. It's really cool. I really like it. You have to check on AccuQuilt or check the sizes. I don't know if you guys saw that, but all the sizes, the finish size, are all there. So, and then there's a number, and this is the number that you pay attention to. I have 6 and 12 complete series. Oh, I want the 12, but woo. So I pulled that out, and I spent precisely 2 minutes cutting out every single piece here. And I have the ones that I'm using for today. Every single piece, I just cut it out. You can cut out 6 layers. So I did that, and it makes enough. And then changed fabric, and it is done. And I think it's the coolest thing. Now I have made other quilts using the AccuQuilt dies, but I wasn't allowed to say anything. So apparently when we're talking these kind of quilt blocks, we can, and I'm so excited about it because, wow, we're going to have fun with this. Wow. So building the blocks, so let me just go through, I think I have it in order. This is the first one I did, and you can see there's a little bit of puff. It's a little bit extra, maybe not the best. However, the points are absolutely perfect. Absolutely, look at that. The last one I did, now we're getting really good. It's this way. I can tell everything's nice and flat and matches and looks good. So today we are gonna follow our map and stitch out the last one. Now all you do is stitch right sides together 1 to 1, and then you have your 8" block. Just like sewing it together on the machine, but we can do it. All 4 dies come in one set. There's actually 8 in one set. Let me bring it back here. So all of these dies. So this is the cube, and all of these dies come with it. Now there's a companion angle and a companion something else. So yeah, and it's, you know what, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. However, if you think how much time you save cutting, and also the perfection of the cut, that's what I like about it. I can do the rotary cutting, but if I had the choice between an AccuQuilt die and rotary cutter, I will pick this every time. Why? Because it's perfect. It's perfect.
Super fast.
And super fast.
Especially when you need a lot.
Yeah, if you were making a quilt out of this with different colors or corners, that's it. Thank you, Janet. You can cut everything in 2 minutes. I have a carpenter's wheel die, so it's a block on board, different than these cubes. And there's like a gazillion pieces, and it's kind of like a puzzle, but I cut all the pieces in like 3 minutes. Do you get a bit if we buy through you? No, unfortunately. Like I said, I had been working on AccuQuilt for years now because this is what I wanted to do, and this is why I bought AccuQuilt. But they didn't like it at all. So yeah, I wish I had an affiliate account with them. Maybe I'll work on that. I don't know. I want to make AccuQuilt quilting, especially with the my quilt piecer. I want to make it mainstream because when you guys see this, you're gonna go, "What? What?" Yeah, it's awesome. So yes, so you get the main pieces, and you get quite a few different shapes, different sizes. It's awesome. This one is the most useful. It's 2.5-inch squares. It's cool. But you can get another one with 8 dies, and it's companion and angles. So I have that for the 9. I don't for the 8 yet. It's going to take me a while to get everything together. So that's how it's done. 4-inch blocks put together make a total 8-inch block, and that's what you do. So not saying that you have to buy this, it's an investment. However, I have found it to be a worthy investment because if I'm creating something and I have to do it a few times, then it saves me time. So yeah, so these are what I cut out, and if you notice, each end is cut off, and that's so you can match things up, and we're even going to be doing that. So when you stitch it together, say you're sewing, super easy to match it up, and it's perfect. So I mean, yeah. If I won the lottery, I would honestly buy all of the blocks. So I have every size. So when I get a tulip pink design, quilt design, I can just cut out all the pieces and I'd be so happy. So anyways, so that's the plan. So my quilt piecer gives you a map, and we're going to stitch out the map. You get in step-by-step instructions and a picture of, what you're doing. And you can change the fabric, you can, put it together. So there's my quilt planner, so you can create your block with your fabric and plan out a quilt on it, all on PEP, and I love it. Dog ears removed helps. Yes, it certainly does. This is really cool though. I think you guys will like it. So, any more questions? Does anyone have any questions? So you can turn them and do different things. Are we going to do the questions as we go along? It helps me cut, and I cut much as I can with my AccuQuilt. I know, me too. I gravitate towards it. It's just so easy, and it takes no time, and everything's perfect. So that's what I discovered as a new quilter. It all starts with cutting the pieces. It's not so much the sewing and the sewing together or anything like that. It is all of it. So if you cut a crooked triangle and you sew it together still crooked, and you sew that one to another one, your quilt's going to be crooked. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's what I discovered, and that's why I love this so much, because anyone can do it. I will tell you, though, it's even better on the embroidery machine. It is even better. Deborah B says, is this Dime software? This is Dime software. AccuQuilt has no software. It's just for quilters, but once you guys see this, you're just gonna, it's perfect. Perfect.
Piecer is Dime.
Yeah, it's Dime. It's an add-on. You don't have to have Perfect Embroidery Pro. You can just have Toolshed, get the add-on. Don't go by what they have on the site. You have to go to a dealer to get good stuff. And it's a lot cheaper than whatever it says on the site. So don't freak out. It's all good. So let's get this party started. Dawn, let's go over to the machine. And the first thing that we are going to do is put it into embroidery mode. Now I have black thread just so you guys can see everything. We're going to stitch out our map. Now, if you want batting, go ahead and put batting down. You can also do that. Now, I am using the 5x7 hoop. This square is with all the pieces that come out. It is just a teeny tiny bit bigger than 4, so you can't really use a 4x4, but it fits in a 5x7. If you were really clever, you could put the 4 blocks together and do it all in an 8x8, but I didn't want to mess with it. So we'll see how well I do today. Oh, bobbin. Uh-oh. I didn't check. I'll check after this. Thank you. My bobbin police are on the ball today.
They were actually asking earlier, but you weren't ready.
I wasn't, but I should have. I have the feeling I probably need a new bobbin. So, there we go. Isn't that cool? Now it's going to number it.
Really?
It's going to number it.
And this is all in the software.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Little numbers. You don't have to do this part, but it sure makes it nice. And then when you see the AccuQuilt stuff that I cut out, that's so quick, you guys will go, wow. So these are your placement guides too. I know it looks like a jumble, but I'll show you guys once we get going on it. Also, I'd like to point out these are very fast. Very fast. This one is 3 minutes, 1,496 stitches. And if you use pre-cut, which again, you can send it directly from the Dime add-on, My Block Piecer, to your cutter. And it provides the correct format. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is awesome. Let me check my bobbin, because I'm going to guess I'm a little bit out. Oh, we're stuck. There we go. I got about halfway. It's not going to take that much. So, whew, thank you, bobbin police, for sure. There. Are we good? Ah, how did that happen? That's weird. That's weird. My pointy awl. Let's try this again. It came undone. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So now on the machine, it's a triangle, and I know when we're doing folded fabric, the first one is applique. So we don't get placement because we've already got it. We have our numbers. And so this one's easy.
Would it work to put the batting under the stabilizer?
6 of one, half dozen of the other. I would just do your map on the batting. I have done that before. I don't know why I just wanted to make it simple, I guess. So I just placed my pre-cut square on, following the lines, and I kind of got it perfect. And just leave everything. You don't need to worry about it. So this is our next one. So we want it to be like this. You have to organize your triangles. This is how it's sitting. So we want to do right sides together and match it up, because I know I set the first one properly. So see how I did that? Matched up, matched up. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure your triangle's folding out the correct distance, the correct way. So, folded fabric, just a quick line. What I love about this is no trimming.
Yeah, nice.
So now we're going to flatten this out. And it's perfect. And I'm going to make a really big effort. If you have an iron handy, which if I was doing a lot of these, I would, that the block looks even better. So now is the tack down. Don't put your fingers in the way. I'm well off from where it's going to go. And it's going to tack it down. So already we have 2 triangles set perfectly. Look how perfect they match. Okay, so another triangle. So number 3 we're on. And this is what I was doing to make it easier, because you want your triangle to go properly. So this is how it's going to line up. You can see here. So I'm going to flip it over and line it up and just kind of match it up. But if you get confused with the orientation, lay it out like I did, because the triangles, you can get them kind of mixed up. And see, it doesn't look right this way, but once we fold it out, it will be.
See, and silly me, when you showed me those the other day, I thought you did them all on the side.
Did you?
I did.
That's pretty funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I did.
So when we fold it over, look, we know it's going to be good, and it is. And I'm just going to extra press it down, finger press. And now we know it's right. And we have some nice sharp points in the middle. And
Makes all the difference.
oh yeah, all of it does. Awesome. So what's next? Number 4 is next. Now, if you want to cut this bulk out, you can. I was just leaving it. So let me pull the hoop back. So this is what we're doing next. Whew. And we're getting there. We're almost done, guys. Are there any questions, Don? So how you place this one with the dog ears cut off?
So no trimming?
No trimming. You can trim that bulky piece off, but because I pre-cut them and it's made to fit it, don't trim. So how well can you guys see that? Not very well. See the end right here? Line it up with that line. That's another thing that makes AccuQuilt absolutely awesome. Half square triangle, it is. Jennifer Alexander knows her stuff. She does. So then we're going to stitch it. But see how easy it is to line it up? And by matching it up like that, it's even got a nice 1/4-inch seam on it. So what are we going to do next? We're going to fold it. We are going to fold it. Isn't that cool? So look at these points. Oh, it just makes me so happy. It's kind of, if you're not using AccuQuilt, in real life sewing, it's kind of hard to do. Now, if you want to use tape to hold stuff back, you can. I don't think you need to.
Use a seam roller if you're not going to iron it.
Yeah, I got one coming from Missouri Star, so yes. That's what I don't want to use my nails all the time. So, pretty good, a little bit close, but hey, not bad. Nice and flat. So that does leave a little bit of a bump, so I'm kind of iffy on that. And this is our last one. So,
Judy Quilt says it reminds me of foundation piecing.
it does, but so much better. So much better and so much easier. There's no steps to do it. But yeah, it is kind of like foundation piecing.
Now, people are commenting about the, looks like it gives you like a 1/4 inch seam.
If you do it the way
I... Trim it down more or no?
If you want.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't want to waste the time. If you were using the accuquilt with the nice dog ears cut off, then yes, it will make a nice seam for you, and you can keep everything straight like I showed you. I'm going to do the same thing here to line it up. Line it up with the blue one, the edge of the blue one, but see how perfectly that lines up? I love it. And this one's going to be a bit more of a seam. But yeah, if you wanted to get your scissors in and trim it like an applique, go right ahead. Now we would still have to square this guy up, but it's okay. So that seam is a bit thick, but it's okay. So I don't have a seam roller yet, so I'm just going to do it myself. It still works pretty well. I find if you use batting, the fabric kind of sticks to the batting, and it's pretty nice. Makes it easier. But just doing it this way, how's that for perfect?
Looks good.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So, let me get my scissors. Yay! Gone. Done. Go back to the desk, please. And now I can see the questions. All right, so I'm going to pop that out. And I'm just going to rough cut it so it's just easier to work with. And then we would need to square it up. And I can do a video on that because it may be a little confusing. I'm just making it look better. I'm not measuring or doing anything. Rough cut, hack, I call it sometimes. And one more. So wasn't that fun? It was so easy. I could sit there and do it all day. All day. All day. So now we have all of our pieces. So doesn't that look good? So you can do your 8-inch square like this, or you can do it like this. So think about all the possibilities. Can you imagine doing a quilt out of this, like this? Actually, I would move this because this one's darker and this one's lighter.
Well, it looks like you. I know you still have to put the 4 together, but it looks like you would have taken hours to put all that together, and you haven't.
I tend to rip out a little bit because I want this level of perfection. See how that is? Pointy. That's what foundation piecing does, but foundation paper piecing also has a lot of steps. And if you're sewing and not using accuquilt, yeah, no way, man. I don't do it quite as well. I really like this way. So, okay, let me be clear on something. The My Quilt Piecer add-on isn't going to tell you if the accuquilt dies match. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. They give you lots of books, so you can look and then see if it's on your computer. Like, you'll have to do that legwork yourself. So just because it's in My Quilt Piecer doesn't mean that accuquilt has a die for it. So hopefully that is clear. I hope. So AccuQuilt blocks would make this super easy. And yes, it's nice and soft. I love it. Look, even the back is nice. It's wonderful. You could play around with it, different colors. I think this is stunning for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can use the AccuQuilt, which I found absolutely delightful. It takes 1 minute to do.
Oh, it's so nice when you can match up AccuQuilt.
Oh, I always shout a quote from Moana, because I love Moana. I'm a nerd, right? Okay. Maui, he says, "The gods have given me a boat."
That's it.
And everyone in the house will go, "Oh yeah, Mom just matched AccuQuilt. There you go." What are you going to do, right? I'm so happy that it's going to be so easy and perfect to do. So, Jill Scarsbrick, hello. Does no-show mesh shrink when ironed? Nope. This boo-boo was me. Me and my Olicio funny iron that
works too well.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. I had it sitting on something, and it's so good that it steams and melts everything.
Oh.
And then I ironed and it got stuck. So that's me. Yeah. That's it. The rest, other than the one I just did, they're ironed and it's fine. I didn't find any shrinkage or anything. So this is a lot of fun. Now remember that Dime, I saw that they have a seminar on how to do this and they give you a free block to play with. It's awesome. So Kathy says, I used my AccuQuilt to cut out my pieces for an exploding heart quilt. Tons of half square triangles and quarter square.
Ooh.
It was so fast to cut out. Yet, what a lifesaver, isn't it? It really, really is a lifesaver. And I know, Kathy, I know the quilt you're talking about. And I have looked at it and gone, but yes, AccuQuilt will save. It's worth it. It's so worth it. It's an investment, but if you're planning on doing a lot of quilt blocks, I like it. I use it as often as I can. It's really great. Jill Scarsbrick, thank you very much. I've never had no-show mesh shrink while ironing. And I've done this a lot. That's why your name's Judy Quilt. For sure. For sure. You need the AccuQuilt for the exploding heart. Yeah, I think you'd be there all day. And I think rotary cutting anything is just, thumbs down. If I decide to make quilts, I will definitely need this. Yeah, just the way I do it is if I need something, I will see if I can buy it. Now, in Canada, of course, everything's so expensive, blah, blah, blah. In the States, it's not too bad. They have sales going on and whatnot. It's just the shipping that kills me. But I'll buy them one at a time. And again, you don't have to have the big, huge thing. I have the electric one because I do use it a lot in my creations. And I do it opposite. I have a block, like a 8-inch block, and I'll design the quilt block to match. Because, yeah. What is PEP? It's Perfect Embroidery Professional software. But you don't have to have it for the add-on. You can just use it. AccuQuilt has weekly videos for products. Yes. And if you take a look either on Dime or AccuQuilt, they have where they're talking about this. And I was so happy to see. It's the software's by Dime, but you don't have to have, that's the big editing software. You don't have to have it for this, my quilt piecer or my quilt maker planner. It's just, you could even use it as standalone. However, you know what? The tool shed is free, so use that. So it's awesome. It's awesome. So I have to check with Mr. Quilt. Mr. Quilt? How come Judy doesn't have an accuquilt? It's like one of the family.
Really?
Accuquilt.
What?
Judy Quilt. Mr. Quilt.
What's up with that?
She could probably cut better than I can. Yeah, by this time. Yeah, for sure. So anyways, this is the most fun you can have with In the Hoop. And it's easy and fun. And mapping your quilt blocks is just the most amazing thing. I love it. I love it. That way, if you have to get up or something, you can still figure out where you're at because of the numbers. Like, I get interrupted and it bugs me, and it takes a minute to figure it out. But, yeah.
She does have an accu.
Oh, good. Oh, whew.
They were talking about something else.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't always read all of them. It's awesome. So, let me know in the comments when the video is done if you want a video on how to use the accuquilt, how to use them to cut this, or if you want a demo of the software of how I came to all this. So let me know in the comments after the video. If you have any questions about this, go to the OML Embroidery University Facebook group and you can ask there, and I'll be happy to help. And yes, Jill, I know it is expensive. I have been collecting accuquilt and of course the dime software for years now. It's just
little bits at a time.
Little bits at a time. I can manage it. I haven't been able to buy anything for a long time, but Shannon says I would love the software demo. Awesome. Awesome. I think it's really good. I think it's mainstream. It's a lot of fun. Don't forget to pick up your Mylar bunny and, of course, the Welsh spring quilt. It's a lot of fun to stitch out. I love the big tulips. And make yourself some quilt blocks.
Yeah, I want to see some more quilts.
Yeah, awesome. I'll do some more. I think this is something we can work on together. So starting at the beginning. So happy stitching, everyone. Be creative. Step outside your comfort zone, or as I call it, the embroidery box. And have fun. Have fun. Embroidery is supposed to be fun and make you happy. This makes me happy for sure. So, thanks everyone for watching. Please like this video on the way out. Give it a thumbs up is what I mean. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.
Bye.